Hi, welcome to Radio Out There. Barry Eaton with you again. This week, Tim Malone, author of Behind the Veil, talking about his transformation from a builder through to a very interesting man. All this and more on Radio Out There. Tim Malone, very good to talk to you. We've had a couple of ups and downs, but here we are talking at last. Good to speak.
Yes.
Now, Tim, you are described as an author, a mystic, a former builder, or so many different things. You're a very interesting man. And like a lot of people, myself included, we find that life has a big transformation point, and it certainly has for you, hasn't it?
Oh, yes, it has. I really growing up consider myself blessed, normal, but was not, was raised Catholic and but as I my first marriage, had three children and really didn't practice any religion, just tried to make ends meet. So yeah, pretty normal stuff, Barry.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I mean, I think this happens a lot, and life sometimes can be divided into two different sections. Certainly was for me. So, your life was as a builder, a businessman, but then you had some family chaos, and then you had to turn to, well, you didn't have to, but you did. You turned to
Yeah.
alcohol, and then to drugs, to Valium, and on to opioids. So that was a big turning point for you, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, at first it wasn't a good turning point, Barry. I, was married 18 years and um, for several reasons was going through a divorce, and I'll never forget the therapist saying, be careful because when you go through life transformations, you can fall into traps and drugs, alcohol, or whatever they were. And I said, no, I'll be fine. I'll be okay. Well, of course, in 2000, right at the divorce, I got addicted to opioids, which started with a few pills and then grew itself into a full-blown addiction where I nearly died.
Hmm. But you didn't, and that is
No, I
amazing.
did.
Maybe only just part of you died, the part that was meant to die, the past, and then on to a totally different future.
Well, at first, Barry, I thought that they saved me for a certain reason. But then now, with the latest discoveries of the last few years, I realize it was part for me to be who I am today as the spiritual entity that I am. Um, that was part of learning to be, go through an addiction, a divorce,
Hmm.
recovery, understanding other people's problems and being able to come out of that. So I always thought they saved me for a reason, but I think it was also that my soul needed, because, we reincarnate on the earth, and a lot of that has to do with the earth is a great place to learn so many things, love, tragedy, heartbreak, joy. So I look back on that time of getting addicted as also part of learning things that would help me in the future
Hmm.
as I am now.
All right. Now, part of that transformation was with a little dog called Boo Boo.
Yes.
So tell us a story about that. I love it.
O- Okay, Barry, thank you. So I was full-blown addict, taking 14 hydrocodone a day,
Wow.
uh, taking two Ambien at night, which, doctors would tell you those two drugs together should knock your body out and you should die. So that's why a lot of addicts will die at night when they go to sleep because they're taking the uppers, and at night they take something to come down. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, um, I was close to death, but my wife and I agreed never to have a dog. But one weekend, at the peak of my addiction, she brought a little dog home. And I said, well, since we didn't agree to have a dog, I got to name it, and I named it Boo Boo because it was a mistake. And Boo Boo became a part of my life that was the turning point. Um, it was a spiritual thing, but it was also exercise. She demanded my attention. She needed to walk twice a day. And so that started this love relationship with my dog that
Mm.
started leading me out of the addiction.
Yeah. Do you feel you may have had a past life relationship with Boo Boo? As in
Well,
her being a dog or another, even a person in another life?
well, Barry, I believe that on your soul's journey, you progress. So I might have, but I think the more important part was that when she died, I asked the universe to let her stay, and she reincarnated into the dog I have now, which is Boo Boo, which
Yeah.
is identical to
Mm,
the old Boo Boo. So I think we progress, and I know animals have souls, and I know that they progress. So it's a progression, and animals actually can progress into humans and move forward.
mm. Very true. Well, I had the same thing with a cat.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, who died and then came back because a friend of mine is an animal communicator, and she told me, yes, Apollo I named in the second one. Is it Apollo is a reincarnation of the other cat you had before. So there we are. We're
And
both
that's
on the
true.
same
I,
page.
and those animal clairvoyants or communicators are
Mm.
brilliant
Oh, they
in
are.
talking to animals, especially near their death, when they want you to understand they love you so much, but it's time for them to go.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Oh,
that's cool.
well, this one's Tricia McKay. She's a guest on my program quite often. She's brilliant, absolutely. So now we talk about the
I love it.
road to recovery, and Booby was part of that. But the road to recovery, you describe in the book, and I'll quote here, the importance of not just surviving, but thriving. Now, I like that.
Well, I was starting to experience these spiritual things that Um, like I said, I wasn't following any religion or dogma. So as Boo Boo and I walked down paths, I would find some books, I would find feathers, I would find things, these little nudges,
Yeah.
and it just started clicking with me. Then my daughters asked me to get into a meditation group with a friend they had, which I'd never done that. I didn't know what meditation was. So I joined that group. So all these things started piling up into a mountain of things that led me
Mm,
to this incredible just feeling of peace and joy away from the alcohol and the drugs.
mm, mm. Now, is this why you called the book Behind the Veil? Because I've written a book called Past Lives Unveiled as part of my trilogy of books on the afterlife or whatever. But did you say Behind the Veil for your book because you went behind the veil, the other side of it, and tuned into spirit? Or what's the reason for the title?
Oh, Barry, that's a great lead in. Well, it's pretty broad, but the general principle is what I experienced as Boo Boo died, and I asked to let her stay. I
Mm.
started taking pictures with this iPhone
Oh,
in
yeah.
my backyard. And the night she died, and I took pictures of her dead, and I saw orbs around her body. And then I started taking pictures in my backyard. And the next day, I came on this computer screen and downloaded them. And I saw my dog in the orbs. And it was like, what? There's my dog. I asked the universe to let her stay, and there she is.
Mm.
So I got fascinated with this journey of orbs, and I started videoing them. I bought a Canon camera, a tripod, and I started spending the next couple of years spending almost every night
Mm.
outside looking at orbs and videoing orbs and peeking in behind the veil, which got really crazy in after a couple of years.
Mm. So, what do you feel you saw or learned the most, do you reckon, peeping behind the veil, whether it's orbs or even maybe more directly sometimes?
Well, it started, Barry, with an orb, which is the main transport system for the spiritual beings and the holy ones. I call them the holy ones. Um, but then it progressed from dogs into seeing people. And when I saw people in the orbs,
Mm,
I got scared at first because I was like, I'm peeking behind the veil into something maybe I'm not supposed to see. Because we've been trained in our lives that these scary movies and anything, if you're going to sell a movie, it needs to be slasher, screaming, all these scary things.
yeah.
But really, behind the veil is so beautiful
Mm,
and they love us so much. So they started showing me the Holy One's images. And so I started meditating out of my group that I was in, and I would meditate at 3 in the afternoon. And at night, I'd go out and I would shoot my video and I would see the things I asked to see. I would see angels, I would see spiritual beings that I had been reading because I was devouring books. I was really into this whole spiritual quest, almost like I was on a fast track to learn as much as I could, which
mm,
now I understand why they did that.
mm.
But yeah, I was looking behind the veil, and at first I thought, I'm scared of this, and I laid off a few months, but then I went back in, and it was just fascinating to me that, Barry approved all these things to me.
Now, when you saw those people, we'll talk about angels in a moment, but when you saw those people, were some of them people you knew, family, loved ones, people you've worked with here, or somehow familiar, or were some of them total strangers?
Well, what's so cool, Barry, is that my shared consciousness with the spirits that were connected to me, the archangels or angels,
Mm,
I would meditate and ask to see things. They would show that. So that shows us and to your listeners that we share consciousness with the other side. And they would show me those things. And
mm.
so it would be angels. They were showing me, I'm looking at pictures in my office of um, beings from other planets. There were masters of the universe that I saw and have pictures of and video of. And I didn't understand then why, but they were showing me all this stuff. But there was always one beautiful lady in every one of these orbs.
Ah, tell me more.
Well, I found out later it is the Lady of the Light. So the picture directly behind me on the bottom.
Mm. For those people on YouTube, you can see the picture in the background and a picture of an
Yeah.
orb as well. On radio, I'm sorry, you can't see the pictures.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I know, and a lot of people see these orbs that I show them, and they don't see anything. So we all have a progression that we get as we're opening up ourselves to other things.
mm,
So I see more than others. Some people see more than me. Some people communicate better to the other side than I do. But um, so I started seeing this lady who is, here, I'll show you. She is right there.
uh-huh.
She
Yeah, for
has
those
black
people
hair.
on YouTube, for those people on radio, I'm afraid you have to imagine it.
Yeah, but she's beautiful. She has black hair
Yeah,
and she's holding me. And I found out later that when I went to the most incredible clairvoyant that I still deal with, Kathy Crosswell in England,
yeah,
I said, "Who's this lady?" She said, "The Lady of the Light." And I said, "Who's the Lady of the Light?" And she said, "The Catholics call her the Blessed Mother, but she's the Divine Feminine." So all these orbs have her in it, and I'm in it with her. So the picture above that one, which you can't really see because of the video camera, my face is in that. And as I looked at all these, I'm in all these orbs with the Lady of the Light.
mm.
And that led to the most incredible discovery that just really changed my life. And from England, which was a little over a year ago.
Tell me about
Finding
that.
out more about who I was spiritually, why I'm here, and what I'm supposed to be doing.
Mm. So, as a former builder, Were you a bit questioning or skeptical at various times, or were you able to open up and accept this?
I think I was having visions at night, Barry. And for your listeners, the best time to have visions is 2:30 to 4, 5.
Yep.
Your mind is the quietest, and it's easier for them to give you visions. And visions are different than dreams. Visions are very vivid, they have color, and when you wake up, you remember them.
Hmm.
Dreams are earlier in your sleep, they're more cloudy, they're crazier or goofy. I started having visions, and one of the visions was the Lady of the Light holding me in a past life in India. So I really got into connecting to my Akashic records and working with the angels that control that, the Pleiadian angels, and opening those records for me and have a past life with her, many past lives with her, where she held me and I was in the military in England, we were in India, and she was in a past life and I was there with her. And Barry, it was so emotional to have an angel hold you. It changed my life. I cried for 2 days. I woke up crying. To have a spiritual entity put their arms around you and love you just changed everything for me. It just opened my eyes to behind the veil, what's there, and mostly for your listeners, how much love there is for us and for you.
Yeah, that's very true. Now, I think a lot of people may get is I have downloads about 3 a.m. and sometimes I'm
Yeah,
woken up and I have, because I'm also a medium, I have messages come through and I have
yeah,
people contact me, all sorts of things like that. Now, I've learned to accept that and had some fantastic, had a wonderful breakthrough just a couple of days ago. Total amazing about my family in this lifetime. Anyway,
I know.
I wonder how many people have these kind of downloads. They wake up at 3 a.m. and they think, oh, God, oh, what? And then they can't go back to sleep. But they don't realize there was a
I know.
purpose in it.
I know. And your job and my job as being reincarnated on the earth
Mm,
is to try to spread the word that I know you've met a lot of people, I have, and just in speaking about 3 or 4 in the morning, they're like, "Yeah, I saw after my grandfather died, I
mm.
had this vision of him going to by my bed, or I saw this lady, or whatever it is." So I think so many people could enrich their lives, and if they oh my God, Barry, you're experiencing the beauty of these transmissions and these visions, and it's just wonderful. If we can expose more people to those, and I'm writing a new book with Kathy Crosswell, who's done stuff with Dinah Cooper.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, he's Diane Cooper's a wonderful author. Yeah.
Well, she's done 2 books, but the new book she and I are doing called Calling All Humans.
Mm,
My book is Behind the Veil, which shows you and gives you the background on how to start to be a mystic, some of the spiritual laws and rules, angelic realms, and a lot of the framework of what's out there. Calling All Humans is the messages directly from God and the spiritual beings above us to help us transfer into this new golden age. So to your point, it will expose people more to this 3 or 4 o'clock type
mm.
vision and explain what it means and how you can connect more.
Very true. Now, I was reading somewhere the other day that apparently this was a very common practice that people wake up all over the world at about in the middle of the night, got up, maybe had a coffee or a drink or whatever. Sometimes they made love, various things. Then they went back to sleep. It was only in the 1930s that somewhere along the line they started to promote this whole thing about sleeping all the way through and you need 7 or 8 hours sleep. But for thousands of years, people woke up. So perhaps that was part of their development and we should accept that more and not say, oh, God, I'm having insomnia. What tablets should I take? Whatever, whatever. What do you reckon?
I I think we've been in an evolution of the earth. Um, from the time of Jesus and all the good that he did. I don't follow any religion, I don't follow any dogma, but you can't ignore that Jesus' death, as horrible as it was so beneficial to the earth and its plan to go to an ascension, which we're going to be working on, and hopefully you will be too. This ascension plan in this new golden age. And all the love that he brought and all the communities and all the people that care. And
Mm.
the operators of religion have done horrible things to religion, but there's so many beautiful people that are attracted to it and live with that. So I think I got off track a little bit, but I hope
No,
I
no, that's all right.
answered.
No, we're here for a chat.
But to your point, uh, the new golden age is them revealing. So it used to be they got our attention through ectoplasm and things that might happen in your house or ghost mist. Now they've been able to change our cameras. There's something that
Mm,
they've done to enable people like us with our iPhones to right now go out in the dark and take pictures
mhm.
and attract orbs. And there's something about the sensors and cameras. So we're they're gradually unveiling more to us and more things. So I think the sleep thing you talked about was part of an evolution to gradually anchor us into more of the spiritual realm.
Yeah, yeah. Well, life is changing, and you talked about where we're going in the future, and I've been talking about this for a while. A lot of people have. That we are at a turning point right now
Yes,
as humanity, and there's been a very significant lot of information saying that some of us will go in one direction and others will not go in that direction. Let's put it that way. A very simple sort of analysis there. But we are in the middle, as I said, of a very large change in humanity. I mean, we can't just blame it on a war because we've been having wars for thousands and thousands of years. But this is significant. And where we are right now in 2026, it is a very, very pivotal year.
oh Barry, you're right. And the what they've told me is that we're moving to this new age from where our mind as the creator of all these things and our ego are still going to be there, but we're going to start needing to merge that with our heart. So moving decisions to our heart and love, truth being told in our society, and the more that we all can join consciousness and love and peace, as corny as it sounds, will be another step for this earth into its ascension. And what they're doing to help us is they're uncovering the clouds of the third dimension, the heavy earth, into the fourth, which is where we connect more to our higher self. So it's going to be easier for us to have the visions. It's going to be easier for us to see things, see orbs. They're doing all that because they want us to experience this heart and this love and merge that together with our ego and our mind. Because it's wrong to say we want to get rid of our ego. Our ego is the thing that we are that protects us, but learning to use your heart in your decision making and love and peace and concern for other human beings is really where they want us to go.
Well, that's right, because I wrote in my first book, Afterlife, I was told from an ascended master that our soul connects with our body through our heart. And
Yes,
so the heart
right.
is, that's why we have that expression, heart and soul. So when we connect with our heart, we're connecting with
Yes,
our soul. And our soul drives us for complete development of the soul, moving on. That's why we're here in every lifetime. And I have to say that I believe every single person on this life, on this planet, has had many, many lifetimes in the past and will probably have more. But there are some people
I
who
do
feel that's,
too. I agree with you. I exactly. I
yeah.
agree with you.
There are some people here for
Yeah.
the first time from other worlds to help us in our transition. But if people think, oh, I die, I'm going to go into a big black pit, well, wake up because you don't. But
Well,
this,
there's
go
the
on.
term, you're an old soul. You've heard people say, and they're newer souls, but you're exactly right. Yeah.
Mm.
To think, Barry, that when you die, it's all over, that's got to be horrible.
Nah.
Why would you? Yeah, that's not true.
But what would be the point in it, Tim? Why would
I
we
know.
come here if we had only one chance? What about those people who die at birth? What about those people who died as a small child or whatever, whatever? That's it? Okay, bye-bye, that's it forever. Disappear. Rubbish. I mean, it is part of a progression. And that's
Yes.
all my research. I've done research for years on all this. So if we can accept that we are more than just one person in a body. No, we're a soul who uses a body for a human expression or human experience. But once we can accept that, things change.
You're my brother.
So tell me what you have gained, um, both personally and professionally, from your transformation so far.
Well, I think the law of abundance. So I have a business that does really well. I have nice things. And so, from a business standpoint, I think I understand that it's okay to make money and that it's okay to have nice things. And those like us, Barry, that may be very
Mm,
fortunate to have radio shows or houses or whatever, we're going to take that abundance and give back to people. So I donate a lot. When I go into a grocery store, everybody's a beautiful soul. If somebody needs an umbrella, I give it to them. So the message to your listeners is abundance is a good thing. The universe likes that. But then personally, to understand my part as this spiritual being incognito on earth,
mm,
here to, I'm not allowed to say who I am, but to understand who I've reincarnated with in all my lives with the Lady of the Light, and our role now on the earth makes me feel very special, makes me feel that um, it's all true, it's all real. And like I said, they love us so much. People like you and I met for a reason, so
mm,
we could spread the word. So I feel that we're both in a place that we can help a lot of people. But life is busy. What I've learned is I teach meditation and mindfulness, and it's tough. People raising families, they have personal issues. I have personal issues. I have 11 grandchildren. Um, Life as a human, it can be tough. So carving out the time to build a practice can be tough. So those are some of the things I've learned.
mm. Yeah, fair enough. You describe yourself as a mystic. What do you mean by mystic? A lot of people think, oh, that's a bit woo-woo. Is he some time of person sitting in the Himalayas with a turban on his head, or what? What to you is a mystic?
I love it. So a mystic is somebody that seeks to go behind the veil to seek the truth of what's really there. So we're not attached to any dogma of any religion. All we care about are the mysteries and the magic and the secrets behind the veil, and we want to connect with them. So whether it's archangels, angels, or other spiritual beings, that's our truth. We don't promote any religion. We don't knock any religion. We're just dealing with, it's simply said, Barry, when you die, there's going to be one truth of who you see, and what the progress is, which I know. And that's the truth to a mystic.
Hmm. Well, on that basis, I've not thought of it before, but I miss it too.
Yes, you are. You're in the club.
But I've never ever put a label on it. I know I'm here as a messenger because I worked in radio and TV and film and various things for a long time. But then I put that message over into other things now, like this program, books I've written, and other people I've consultations and whatever, whatever. But I've never thought of myself with that label on it. But you're making me think now, Tim. You're making me think.
Yeah, Barry, you got a new label now. You're a mystic.
Is there a club? Do we join?
It's a great club because just think you're seeking the truth of what's behind the veil,
Right.
purity with it, and not
Yeah.
any other Bibles or religions or anything surrounding it. You just want to know the truth.
That's very true. And I've been so fortunate, being taken behind the veil and shown and shared and all sorts of stuff. So
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
it
sure you
is
have.
absolutely magic. So anybody who is listening to us now or watching and is afraid of so-called death, don't be afraid. There is no such thing as death. Only the body dies.
I know.
The main
Oh
part of
my
us
God.
goes on and goes home
I
to the
know.
world of spirit.
I know. And if we could help one person on your show that listens to this that worries about dying or they can't sleep at night, it's like, don't worry. It's beautiful on the other side.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen the pictures. I've been there. I know it. I
Mm.
just want people to be happy with that.
Well, that's very true. That is so true. Now, you have, shall we say, an ambition to move on here and create a very unique kind of wellness centre. You write about that in your book, Behind the Veil. Tell me a bit about that.
So part of what my holy ones want me to do is I found this land attached to a beautiful lake, and I found out I have an ancestral past there thousands of years ago where I was there with a tribe and I died there. But I bought the land and I'm building a portal. So part of the duties I have on earth now, which I don't want to get too complex, but as a spiritual being, I'm looking for souls. Souls are being transported through me, my spiritual being, because everything that happens on the other side is attached to the essence, which we would call a personality of a spiritual being. It's not just woo woo magic. So when we die, where we go, it's all directed by seraphim angels or different entities. So this land is something that I'm supposed to build a portal between heaven and earth, and it'll be a spiritual destination for people all over the world one day where they'll come and there'll be energy coming from hollow earth all the way up into the heavens with gardens around it where people can come, relax, unburden themselves, try to connect to something greater than themselves. So this is what this land is. It's an ancestral place. It's going to be a portal between the heaven and earth. And there are other energy sites and portals in the world. Um, but it's very important to them that they have this big concern about the souls on earth that are not committed
Mm,
to a spiritual journey, that are aborted souls, that are souls that have not gone to the light, people that never knew about anything, they just died and they don't know where to go. So that's a big deal for the Lady of the Light.
yeah. It sounds a bit like Shangri-La,
Like what?
Shangri-La, or or, or Xanadu, or something like that.
Yeah.
S-
Well, yeah, so the crossover from the third and fourth dimension, the Elysium fields, they call it, I call it, this transport, these portals are these energy. So Atlantis had these temples of energy, Egypt, These were designed and built specifically for connecting with the divine
Mm,
and energy from the earth up, and also to help our energy connect to those and make this passage. So Egypt was so developed and so cool with what they did. But these portals and these energy sites all over the world still have thousands of souls moving through them on their spiritual journey.
yeah. Have you been to Egypt?
No, I was going and I got diverted to England, um, which I'm glad I did because that's where I learned more about who I was. And
Yeah.
I met Kathy. And that was where my publisher was. So we decided to go there. But I'd love to go there. I have a past life there in the Temple of Philae. So yeah, I can't wait to go.
All right, do it. I've been there twice. I had the lure
Oh,
because I know
wow.
I've had a past life there. So I've climbed the pyramid twice. I've visited all the major areas. Had
All
a
the temples of light. Oh, wow. That is so
absolutely.
cool.
I've written about it because I've just finished writing my memoirs, and that's out there at the moment.
I've
Looking
got
for a
I've got to get your book about
yeah.
that. Oh yeah, I'd love to.
So I'm sorry, I missed that last bit. You turned away.
Oh, I said I'd love to get your memoirs or
All right, yeah.
your
Well,
memories of that.
I'm looking for a publisher at the moment, so we won't see what happens. But what do you feel that you still need to accomplish, Tim?
Oh, Barry, I'm 67. So I need to build the portal. I need to, with Kathy, create the new book, Calling All Humans, which will be the guidebook for humans to understand how to move into this new energy and light that you and I are talking about, and give them the ground rules of how to do it, explain all the details of the new golden age. And I want to communicate to thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people. I want to, um, if I could talk to the Pope, if I could, I've got direct communication from the highest people, and that's all I can say. But there's so much messaging that I still need to do to communicate to people the love and the hope they have for us to get to become an ascension planet. Or and I've visited other planets and I've gone to ascension planets that have ascended and there's planets behind us. So it's very interesting when you go to those that are there, and we're trying to get to this place where communities will be built together of kindness and love, and they'll have joint rules and everybody agrees. And it'll be smaller communities of people that love each other and provide and take care of each other. And all this world of wars and hate and these liars that run governments will be gone. That's part of what I want to do before they take me back.
Well, a noble ambition. Tim, you have a wonderful book. I thoroughly enjoyed reading it. Behind the Veil is published by Collective Ink over in Britain, and I hope it goes really well for you. And also, look, would you reserve a room for me in your wonderful new building that you are planning? I may not be here physically, but I'll pop in spiritually, all right?
Well, I hope to have some cabins ready in 2 years, and to have they've named it the Golden Sentinel, and they've designed it. So hopefully you're with us for a few more years and you can come over and stay for free. But I'd love for you to come to the US when this place is ready. And I'd love to spend time with you as my guest. It would be an honor.
It would be my pleasure. Tim Malone, thank you so much for being a guest on radio out there.
Barry, thank you for having me on your program, and congratulations on all your success.
A fascinating man, Tim Malone, and have a read of his book called Behind the Veil.